an hour ago.
We had officers from around the county and around the state that came in support of this particular incident, because this is something that we all prepare for, but we hope we never have to do.
Again, Madison police are updating their report to say 3 people died. Well, Chloe, tell us what you're seeing right now. You've been out there for an hour, hour and a half or so. How have things changed from then up until now?
Yeah, Mark, we are still seeing, a high number of law enforcement present here. You can obviously see some officers working behind me and just these flashing lights, just the sea of flashing lights that, obviously has not changed since we first got here, especially if we go over and look at the parking lot of the school here. That is where we are right across the street from, as officers continue to work to comb through the school there, comb through cars. That is what Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said that, officers were going to continue to do today just to ensure that there is no threat. I want to direct our attention back this way to this church behind me that is right across the street from the school, City Church. That is where students are inside of right now. We saw a little bit earlier, we saw students getting out of the church, filing on to one of 3 city buses that was here. Now there's only 2 because one of those buses took off, taking students, a range of ages of students, from little kids up to high school age students, back to SSM, the Dean Clinic, just a few minutes away. That is where they're reuniting with their parents. That has been deemed the Parent Reunification Center. So we saw one city bus pull off about 30 minutes ago, being escorted by police down to that clinic, again reuniting students with their parents, giving them that peace of mind after a horrific incident like this. We're still watching these last 2 buses here that say they are not in service, waiting to see if more students will be filing out of that church, boarding those buses. And I said a little bit earlier, but watching these students, go by on this bus heading towards their parents, it was a chilling scene. And I think we're watching, we want to definitely be respectful of everyone's privacy, but we are watching more students get onto that second bus right now, leaving that church, heading onto that second Metro bus. Again, these buses are taking students down the road just a few minutes to the SSM Health Dean Clinic, where they will be reunited with their parents. We are seeing, kids of all ages again leaving this church, boarding this bus. This is the second out of 3. Let's zoom in and give everyone a little bit of a better look here. Again, just respecting everybody's privacy, as these are children. But again, this bus will be taking these students down to that Parent Reunification Center, that SSM Health Dean Clinic. This is the second out of 3 buses that we've seen fill up with students and shortly pull off here. So we're just watching this unfold right now as officers help these kids who obviously had, a terrifying day. This is something that, you get up and get ready for school and get dropped off or hop on the bus, and you have no idea that this is going to be happening to you. So now, at least seeing them safely leaving this church, hopping on, and there are officers on these buses that are going with them, and again, give parents that peace of mind that their child is safe. But I do want to kind of paint the picture a little bit. The active shooter call, according to Chief Barnes, came in at 10:57 this morning. That is only a couple hours after kids were dropped off at school here at Abundant Life Christian School. So again, this is one of those things that nobody can see coming. And again, these students dropped off only a couple hours before that call comes in. Chief Sean Barnes said that when officers arrived to the scene, they found multiple victims with gunshot wounds. Officers from around the county and the state responding to this chilling call this morning. We know that the threat has been neutralized. It was a juvenile believed to be a student at the school. So again, officers are still combing through the school, clearing it, searching all cars. But again, we are told that there is no threat, and we are watching now students hours later from that initial call leave the church right across the street from the school, heading onto these buses, getting ready to reunite with their parents. It has just been an absolutely terrifying day here, and we are still watching. There is one more bus, so there is more students that are waiting to be taken down to that clinic to reunite with their parents. But again, we just saw this next group be taken out of that church and filed onto that bus, so we're gonna keep monitoring the situation over here.
As you've been watching, as you probably heard, we have had a school shooting, an unfortunate incident here in the Madison area. We know that at least three people are dead, including the shooter. 6 people have been injured. We are taking a look at the map right here. This happened at Abundant Life Christian School on the east side of town, just off East Buckeye Road. We know traffic has been closed. The roads have been closed in that area. This incident happened just before 11 o'clock this morning, around 10:57. So we've been on the air since we've learned about this, trying to share those details with you. Again, 3 people are dead, including the shooter. 6 people are injured.
Yeah, just a tragedy here in Madison today. We do have a number of statements. A spokesperson for UW Health issued a statement just minutes ago. They say UW Health is receiving patients from today's shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. Areas are set up for patient families. Madison Police will be providing updated information.
Now we are hearing from the school, Abundant Life Christian School. About 2 hours ago, they posted this statement on Facebook saying they are requesting prayers today. We had an active shooter incident at ALCS. We are in the midst of following up. We will share information as we are able. Please pray for our Challenger family.
Senator Tammy Baldwin wrote this on X. I have been briefed on the active shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, and my heart goes out to all those impacted. My office is in touch with local and state officials, and I stand ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected.
Wisconsin lawmakers, they are responding as well. Congressman Mark Pocan wrote this. My office is aware of reports of a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. We are in touch with local law enforcement and will continue to monitor the situation and offer any assistance we can to provide to our first responders.
And Senator Ron Johnson wrote this on X. My sincere condolences and prayers for all the victims of the tragedy at Abundant Life Christian School. I will continue to closely monitor the situation.
And then we also just got in a statement from SSM Health, so I just want to read this real quick because this is just coming into our information center. SSM Health, St. Mary's Hospital, they are saying that they have received patients following this tragic incident at Abundant Life Christian School. They're not able to provide any additional information. They say all questions should be directed to Madison Police, but SSM Health, St. Mary's Hospital, also receiving patients in this incident today.
And as we've mentioned, Abundant Life Christian School is a K-12 school with hundreds of students. We have students of all ages who were impacted today, families with kids of all ages impacted today. We do have Chloe, who is outside of Abundant Life Christian School. She's been monitoring the situation for us throughout the day. Chloe, what are you seeing now?
Hey, so we are watching a group of therapy dogs enter the school that is right across the street from the Abundant Life Christian School. That is where all of the kids are right now. All of these students who exited the school, they are now in that church following this horrific incident. And we are seeing students. We saw another group of students, the second group that we have seen today, file into the city buses just to the left of the church here, still sitting in the road, surrounded by this massive squad cars. Those buses are taking students down to the SSM Health Clinic, Dean Clinic, just minutes up the road to reunite with their parents. Again, we already saw one bus leave. We saw another group of students leave this church, file into this bus that looks like it will be ready to depart for that clinic any minute now. Again, when we saw these kids on this bus earlier today, we saw a range of ages. You know, this school is kindergarten, K through 12, and it was just a chilling sight to see these kids. It looks like this bus is pulling off right now as we speak, being escorted by police down to that clinic, again, filled with the next group of kids coming out of that church. We will just stay on this shot for a moment so you can see exactly what is going on here with these students. Again, these are students from the school who are waiting in the church right across the street, now heading towards the SSM Dean Clinic to be reunited with their parents. I'm seeing kids of very young ages on that bus, and it, again, is just a very sad and disturbing sight to see, knowing what these kids probably went through earlier today in school, something that obviously nobody expected to happen. But again, I want to turn the attention back to this church here that is right across the street from the school. Again, that is where these kids, younger and, you know, some older kids, are in right now, waiting to file onto that last city bus to take them to reunite with their parents. But I just want to mention those therapy dogs that we just saw go in there. You know, that is something that is so needed for such a traumatic day like today. These kids, again, as young as kindergarteners in this school who went through something so horrific like this, now waiting, at least in safety, but now at least, get to have a therapy dog. And I think that is something that is so important, we've said community is so important today multiple times, and that is just another sense of the community coming together, trying to make such a devastating moment, such a devastating, situation, at least a little bit better for these kids who went through something like this just hours after being dropped off at school, that call coming in, just before 11 this morning. So they were only in school for a few hours and now waiting in this church again to be taken to reunite with their parents.